one of the most common misconceptions that we encounter is there's this idea that preparing and storing formula is very straightforward and foolproof, and there's little need for specific guidelines. So, Jessica, can you walk us through kind of the correct way to mix and store formula to ensure safety?
Yes, yes, yes. There is absolutely a correct way and an incorrect way to mix formula. So first off, let's go through that process to mix the formula. Number one, make sure you're doing so in a clean area. So wash your hands.
Yeah.
Make sure that any like counter space, anything like that is all clean. Step number two is you want to boil your water. So just bring it up to that boil. And once you bring it to that boil, that's going to help kill off any germs that could be in that water. And you can actually have that water sitting for up to 30 minutes. Obviously, you want to let it cool down before we give that to baby. So definitely make sure that that has cooled. And yeah, so next thing, this is a big one that I see, I think, some confusion with, is you actually want to add the water in first. So that is super important because that gives us the correct ratio for the powder and the water. And that gives us, of course, then the correct nutrition for baby. So then once you have that water to however, the amount, let's say we're making 4 ounces, you want to use the scoop that is provided in the formula you have. So definitely really important to make sure you use that scoop only, because some formulas have a 1-to-1 kind of ratio scoop, and then other formulas have a 2-ounce scoop. So if you're not using the correct one, that could definitely really impact, baby nutrition. So then, of course, add that scoop in, mix it thoroughly, make sure there's no clumps, make sure all of that is broken up. And then, of course, test that temperature, make sure it's not too hot. So a really quick one, I know a lot of people have seen where you just like go on the inside of your wrist here. That's pretty sensitive skin. So just a little drop, make sure it's not too hot, and ta-da, let's feed our baby.
Perfect. Well, thank you. So yeah, it's like super important to have a clean space. I think, yeah, there's that common misconception of powder first or water first. So yeah, clearing up that powders or the water goes in first, that boiling that water to ensure the safety. Yeah, that's perfect. What about when a formula can is opened? Like how long is it safe to use?
Yeah, so once we have opened that can, you can keep powdered formula for up to 30 days. So, store it in a temperature kind of safe space and always make sure that lid is tight on, and it's good for up to 30 days. One like little tidbit trick that I always like to tell parents is to write the date that you open it on the can. That way they can remember. So
Right.
that's really helpful. Once you have made a bottle, these are really important things too. Once you make that bottle, let's say I take baby in and we're just sitting here on the couch, it's good for 2 hours. Once baby's mouth touches it, it's good for 1 hour. And any unused formula needs to be tossed.
Okay. So 2 hours once you make up the bottle at room temperature. And then if baby touches the bottle or drinks from the bottle, it needs to go within an hour. What about if you mix up formula and you want to just make up a batch and you
Yeah,
just want to keep it in the fridge? How long is it good for?
yeah, that is a great option. It's good for 24 hours.
Okay, good
Yeah,
to know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Another option too, some parents like to use the ready to feed
Hmm.
formulas, and those actually usually have a longer refrigeration storage life. So double check the label. A lot of those can be stored in the fridge for more like 48 hours.
Okay, good to know. So yeah, there's definitely differences between the powder, the ready to feed, the concentrate, I'm sure. So yeah, I think it's super important for healthcare professionals to kind of look at the back of the can to make sure that there's proper mixing and storage per the manufacturer's recommendation as well.